great way to start the video. Okay, well, yeah, so I just came back from seeing Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. Those letters barely fit on that thing. I realized the last time I used that thing was Blade Runner 2049, so I didn't do that for Star Wars or Justice League or any of those other movies I watched. But here we go. The letters are about to, yeah, it's terrible. Anyway, so yeah, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, or Jumanji 2, whatever. It was a fun movie, you know, like, you can see with the trailer, it was a fun movie. You could tell they had a lot of fun to make it and all that stuff. Yeah, I definitely, excuse me, I just finished eating. I definitely enjoyed it, of course, you know, because I remember in the beginning, it was like last year, like, was it like last year or early this year or something like that. Yeah, it was like, I don't know about it, like, it's The Rock, I like The Rock, you know, Kevin Hart's cool, of course, Jack Black and Karen Gillan, like, alright, you know, I'll probably go see it just because I like these people, but, like, you're kind of just, like, not, like, you know, you've just seen pictures on, like, social media of them, but then when, like, the trailer came out, and it's like, oh, okay, like, they're in a video game, all that stuff, because I remember there was, like, immediate backlash when people saw, like, Karen Gillan's outfit, because they're just like, well, why is she, you know, like, of course she's the female character, she's bearing her midriff, of course she's in booty shorts, but with boots, all that stuff, but then, like, in the trailer, they immediately address it, where she was just like, this is the most, like, this is not even, like, practical for the jungle, and then you're saying you're in a video game, and her costume is very much like what's the word? It's not there. It's an homage. There you go. Wow, it's an homage to, like, Lara Croft, you know, because it's like you've got the, like, you know, your boobs and then the thing and the you know, like, that was English. Ugh. Burp. Come on. Nope. Okay, but. You know, and it's like, okay, now it makes sense because they're inside a video game. Which, there were a few, like, continuity errors, but you're like, it's a video game, it happens. You know, they're, like, in water, and then a second later, like, their clothes are dry, you know? It's like, it's fine, because it's a video game, and you could and you can allow that. But yeah, so, I had fun watching this, I definitely did, you know? Like, not all the laughs, because that would be really sucky, but, not a good amount. Like, there are, like, some of the laughs, some, that are in the trailer, you know, the trailer is fucking hilarious, and then when you watch the movie, of course it's not, like, you're not laughing throughout the entire thing, like, not like the Disaster Artist for, like, every 2 seconds, everyone's cracking up. We're looking at two completely different movies here, but as a comedy kind of thing. But yeah, so, of course, like I said, some of the laughs were in the trailer, but not all, which is good, because that's usually the worst when you watch, like, when you go see a comedy, is like when you realize, like, oh, all the funny parts were in the trailer, now I'm just waiting for that next funny part, you know? But, yeah, so, like I said, I enjoyed it, it was funny, you know, of course, there's great jokes about, you know, just, I love when The Rock plays characters like that, when, in this one, and in, like, Central Intelligence, where he was, like, this bullied kid, but he's just, like, this big guy, so he's just kind of like, he's like, whoa, look at my muscles, what the hell, he's like, look at my forearms, he was just like, oh my god, whoa, big old pectoral muscles, you know, that kind of stuff. It's always, I enjoy The Rock, and I also like that he's totally cool with making fun of himself, you know, because that's always, like, the best kind of, you know, people. Kevin Hart being Kevin Hart, you know, just like that's what it is, just like he's Kevin Hart. Jack Black, the fact that Jack Black is like, being Jack Black a little, but mostly just pretending the entire time to be a teenage girl, which is great, you know, because everyone else just seems to be kind of like, you know, like, I feel like The Rock was playing, like, that awkward kid, you know, Karen Gillan was very much playing the awkward girl, Kevin Hart was playing Kevin Hart, and Jack Black was just, like, the teenage girl, which was great, for him to say things like, I can't even, and, of course, bitching about not having his phone, and then, like, using words like, oh, okay, judgy, okay, judgmental, like, just, you know, sounding like a teenage girl, which he did great, which is hilarious, you know? There were jokes that you knew was gonna come, so there's a part where he's like, oh, I gotta pee, and then of course Jack Black is like, yeah, and it's like, how do I do this? You know, oh my god, oh, this is so much easier because there's a handle, you know, like really funny jokes like that. There's a boner joke because, you know, when you meet like Nick Jonas, who kind of had like a Nathan Drake feel to him, just because like the 5 o'clock shadow, the blue shirt kind of stuff. I don't know if that was on purpose or not. Part of me is like, oh, he could probably be Nathan Drake, but I think he's a little bit on the shorter side to be Nathan Drake. But he's fine. I don't have an issue with the guy. But then again, I'm not like that kind of like Uncharted fan. Although, sorry, just randomly, there was a poster for Uncharted 4 in that kid's room. So I'm like, maybe that is a reference. I don't know. Anyway, that aside. But, yeah, like I said, I enjoyed it. It was funny. You know, it's one of those, like, because they're teenagers in, like, these adult bodies and they have to kind of get along. It's kind of funny because it's kind of like, on one hand, it's kind of like Tron Legacy because they have to, like, go back in the system kind of thing where someone has been trapped there for 20 years. And on the other hand, it's like The Breakfast Club because it's, like, a bunch of people from, like, different walks of life that would never be friends, whatchamacallit, are stuck in a situation and have to get along, and by the end of it, they're all cool with one another. You know? Like, God, could you imagine if someone's like, so, how was the Jumanji movie? And you're like, yeah, it's like Breakfast Clubs meet Tron Legacy. And someone's like, are you high? You know, but I feel like that kind of works. Like, it kind of does make sense. There is a reference to Robin Williams, which is just, it's very nice. There's one part where they get to, like, this kind of hut thingy that you think that Nick Jonas' character, who the guy who's been there since, like, 20 years, he built, but then, like, they're like, oh, was it, like, Alan something? That's, like, his, Robin Williams' character name, of course, in the first movie, and he was stuck there for, like, 26 years or something. So it says, like, you know, carved in the wood, and they're like, hey, I don't know where he is, because, of course, they don't know about him, and it's kind of like, just, like, a little nod to Robin Williams, because that was also another thing, when they said that they were going to do another Jumanji movie, that there was backlash against that, because people were like, you know, Robin Williams passed, like, come on, don't do this to him, you know, and it's like, I get it, you know, I get it, but it's, you know, they don't, like, reference back, like, remember that guy, you know, like, they just put his name there, boom, little Easter egg, there you go, you know. Also, love how in the Jumanji movies, we have to deal with these huge mansion-esque white houses, because, like, obviously in the first one, it's like that big house with Kirsten Dunst and the kid who turned into a monkey. It's been years since I watched it, but that kid. And then now it's like the character that was Colin Hanks in the end plays, like, her in this big ass, like, white mansion, which I feel like, not mansion, but it's like a huge house, which I find funny. That's like, I look like the only big ass house, like, in the neighborhood, but there's always, like, one, like, not my neighborhood, but sometimes, like, you'll be, like, you know, going down, like a different town or shit like that, and you're like, oh, look at these houses, they're nice, and it's, like, one big house, and it's, like, anyway, a bunch of regular size ones, and you're like, what the fuck, why is that one big ass house, you know? Anyway, yeah, like I said, it was a fun movie, you know, like, in the end, they're gonna make it through, but you wonder how they're gonna do it, that kind of stuff, you know, they have to, you know, what's the word, like, fight through their differences, I think that's what I'm trying to think of, yeah, just be like, we would never be cool, like, in school, like I said, Breakfast Club, but anyway, it is a short review, which is pretty much, like, it's, I enjoyed it, it's funny, like, let me look at the trailers, yeah, it was very funny, like, my only issue, it has nothing to do with the movie, is that whenever I go see movies that are, like, for the family kind of stuff, I just hate, like, children in the theater. I'm not a big fan of kids in general. I don't know, I started going to the movies when I was, like, 8 years old, you know, when I was, like, a little bit older to understand that, like, don't fucking talk during the movie, and don't be a fucking little shit, you know? Like, what was it, during the summer, like, fucking a parent bought, like, a baby, like, probably, like, a fresh out of the womb baby to, like, Dunkirk. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, that movie was loud. Also, it was the IMAX showing, so it was super loud. And there are parts where, like, things would explode and it would startle me, and I don't get startled like that. So the baby was freaking out, and of course the mom fucking leaves with the baby, because I'm like, why would you bring a baby to Dunkirk? But it's like, I get it, like, this, you know, it's a family movie, but it was kind of annoying because some kids don't know how to act because their parents don't tell them, like, hey, don't fucking kick people's seats 10,000 times. Like, my mom yelled at a kid behind her because, like, I'm sitting next to her, like, you know, my arm was, like, on her armrest, and at one point, like, I felt her chair just, like, foink, like that, and my mom was like, what the fuck? So, at least they didn't do it for the rest of the time, but there was, like, another kid behind me here that, like, whatever stuff would happen, the kid was like, at one point, was it like Karen Gillian's character says to Jack Black something like, oh, you act like you're a princess and you're blah, 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 like kind of giving guff to them. And the little kid behind me is like, did she just say she's a princess? Like, tell your fucking kid to shut up. Like, to tell your kid to shut up. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, why parents nowadays just don't tell kids to just shut the fuck up. They're like, oh, they're just being a kid. No. When I was a little kid, they were like, don't open your mouth, or I'll throw you down the stairs, you know? Parenting was different when I was younger. But, like, before even the preview started and people were starting to pile in, this kid comes walking in, and then the kid is, like, my hand is, like, this big, you know? And the kid just starts, like, is just walking. And the kid is, like, crying. Not just, like, like, I'm being fussy cry, but, like, I am being threatened with my life kind of crying, you know? And then, like, the mother's like, all right, well, let's leave. But the kid didn't want to go down the stairs, nor did it want to go to its seat with the rest of the family, and just stood there crying. And I'm like, why do you people bring tiny children to the fucking movies? You know? That's why, like, whenever, like, a Pixar movie comes out, either I just kind of wait till it's out on video, or if I really want to see it, I see it, like, early in the day on a weekday, when I know I'm not going to be around any kids, because I just can't, because it's like, shut up. You know? And it's like, oh my god, so bring your fucking children to the theater. Like, I'm sorry, you're just gonna have to wait too, you know? I don't know, just, I'm being an ass, the person without kids, talking about kids. Anyway, so on to trailers. So again, because this is a family movie, so all these movies were, you know, directed at kids, and, jeez. So the first one is that stupid Miracle Season thing again, where it's about fucking volleyball, and about how, like, the one girl dies because she was, like, on a motorcycle or a moped. Like, she's dead. Like, the team leader, the team captain, the best player, you know, she's dead. And now the best friend has to lead them because she's the second, like, best. And they're like, oh, no. And I hate that one line that Helen Hunt says in the trailer where she was like, I think I mentioned this before, and she was like, you girls have to do this. You're strong women. I'm like, you don't have to remind them that they are. Like, I bet they know they are. Also, again, they're girls going up against girls. It's not like this is like a co-ed thing. It's not like they're somehow going against grown-ass men. I don't know. I just think that's a little dumb just to be like, you can do this. You're strong women. It's like, I get it, like, build up the confidence at a young age kind of stuff, but I just felt like that was really dumb and out of nowhere. But anyway, the next one is called, oh god, did I write Cordorito? Anyway, it's some animated thing from some studio, and it's all in Spanish. It was just really weird, because it's one of those animated kind of things where humans and animals exist, well, just like this, but, like, animals talk, like, talk, you know, and it's fine and it's not weird kind of thing, and they all acknowledge that, like, yeah, that's the best chicken I know. He's gonna go into space, said human person. Yeah, I don't know. It was just, like, the kids in the audience seemed to enjoy it very much. Some of the parents were chuckling. I sat there quite confused on what was going on, and I really felt like I was really old. Next one is like another sequel to Romeo and Juliet, because we wanted more, called Sherlock Gnomes. Yeah, they went there with that. And yeah, it's that's the movie. It's the gnomes together, and then something happens, and then stuff, and then, like, Sherlock Gnomes, voiced by Johnny Depp, has to help them. Anyway, next thing is Pacific Rim Uprising, which is great, which confused the shit out of all the kids in the theater, which I was like, thank you. It's probably one of the more, like, adult movies on there. I think it's, like, because it was just, like, I think that's when my mom yelled at the kid for kicking her seat. Because I remember it was right before you saw Mako, and then my mom was just like, what? It's just, you know. But yeah, a lot of the kids seem to be very confused by the trailer. Like, they saw the robots, but, like, they're not understanding, like, that black kid from, you know, like, Star Wars, he's got an accent now. Anyway, of course, Pacific Rim, I'm looking very forward to it because it's fucking Pacific Rim. And John Boyega is our space prince, and he's son to Space Daddy, so you know what, that's fine. After that, I think it's the final Maze Runner movie. You know, they even say it in the movie where they're like, we spent frickin' years trying to get out of the, like, maze, now we're trying to go back in, and I'm just there like, I don't care. Like, I really don't care. I love how they're trying to make Dylan O'Brien, like, this, like, action star, but he's, like, such a thin guy. I think I have on, well, I'm still not done watching movies for 2017, but I think I have, like, American Assassin on there, but just, it's like, you're such, like, you're a twink, and then you're gonna, like, do some fucking, like, Jason Bourne stuff, like, okay, honey, but then again, whatever happened to Taylor Lautner? Anyway, after that was the next rock movie, which is Rampage, the thing about I'm friends with this gorilla, and then genetic mutation aerosol sprayed it. Now the gorilla is bigger and bigger and bigger. Like, everything's huge, you know, so why not? After that, it's Hotel Transylvania 3, Summer Vacation. I never watched any of those. I don't care. You know, it's just stupid. There was, oh my god, in the Romeo and Juliet commercial, there was already, like, it was like 2 to 3 jokes in a row about farting, and I'm like, I just can't with these movies. Oh, and the last thing is Peter Rabbit, which is, like, live action and CGI. So it's like, what's her face? Oh my god, was it Rose? Is it Rose? Rose Byrne, that's it. I'm like, Rose Byrne, and then Domhnall Gleeson with dark hair, and it's Peter Rabbit, and the rabbits, which are fucking adorable, are CGI, and of course those are people, and it's the story of Peter Rabbit. So it looks cute just because bunnies are fucking adorable, but I feel like Domhnall Gleeson's like, alright, I should probably just kind of steer away from all these serious movies. Like, he did Star Wars, he did, like, Ex Machina, you know, when he's always just like, this serious ginger. So then, I think in this one, he's like, I'll just be a dark-haired guy who hates rabbits and wants to kill them. So I guess, sure, why not? Get your paycheck. Anyway, so this won't go up until next year because it is 8 p.m. on New Year's Eve. But anyway, so it's a good way to end the year. This movie is pretty funny. I have still a few more movies to watch from 2017 before I can make my list of best of, worst of. The thing is, I watched so much more this year. The list is probably, it might even be longer than 10. I don't know. Anyway, Jumanji, welcome to the